start us off to get us into the rumour thing. I've got my little cheat sheet here, so don't mind me if I'm just looking down. But my first riser is Tom Brady. I have to say, never been a fan of this man in fantasy because I love a dual threader. I love someone agile. Then in saying that, I do have like Carson Wentz and Jameis Winston in my team. But I had him at number 11 before this week. And he's had 20 red zone attempts in 2 games. And last year he had 84 red zone attempts for the whole season. So I was talking to you boys about it off air. And I think that him and Arians are they're making a deliberate ploy to go for the touchdown season record. I think it's like 55 or something. I think Peyton Manning holds it. And at this rate, he's going to get there pretty comfortably. Obviously, an extra game as well. And he's going at 75% in the red zone, which is pretty outrageous. I think everyone else is below 60. So, yeah, Tom Brady is looking frightening right now. Obviously, the quarterback for one of the best teams in the league. And if they're not rushing in TDs, it's a pretty nasty fantasy recipe. So he's got to go up in my rankings. This one's an interesting one. I'm sort of unsure if I like my call because I think his completion percentage on the weekend was about 50%, and people are saying last year was a fluke. But Josh Allen of the Buffalo Bills, I had him at number 7 heading into the weekend, and he's probably going to go up for me. And that's purely because I think he's up to like 6 red zone rushes for the year. And that's 3 on average, and about 20 to 30% of red zone rushes are TD. So almost locking in 1 rushing TD a week, which, as we have learned in Josh Allen's past, is absolutely OP because he can throw it like a lot of running QBs can't. And yes, I just think he's a bit of a wet, but I don't know. People saying he's not playing that well. He has played 2 very good defenses, on paper, but yeah, we'll have to see on that one. QB fallers, I have to say, obviously my main man, Jameis Winston, I'll be honest, didn't buy into last week at all, but I still had him very high from preseason. I didn't adjust my rankings last week, so I couldn't bait him away with his 5 touchdown performance because I had him higher than everyone else, which was a bit of a trap for me. I had him at number 10, and yeah, look, he's just not number 10, is he? I think he's still going to have a few good games here or there. He's got a good coach and all that stuff, but yeah, I think there's going to be quite a lot of stinkers in the mix, which is pretty annoying for me because I thought I'd stolen a QB1 from the draft, and it looks like he could be waiver worthy. And then finally, Dak Prescott. I love this bloke. He was my number 2 heading into the weekend, but yeah, unfortunately for Pornstar Jimmy and other Dak Prescott owners, the Cowboys' run game looked absolutely phenomenal. Their O-line looked incredible, and I wouldn't be surprised if we see a lot more running from the Cowboys with the Pollard and Elliott double-headed monster. I looked at their red zone ratio, and it was about 1-to-1 passing to running. And yeah, I still think he's going to be a very good quarterback in fantasy, definitely a QB1, but I think number 2 might be a little bit of an overshot for Dak and his owners. But yes, Curtis, QB rises and falls.
Rises had Murray. The man just keeps getting better. He's probably the best QB in fantasy as we talk right now. He was elite last year, and he just seems to keep getting better. And also had my man who loves to sit on my bench, Darnold. The man looks like he might be a consistent beast this year, pulling out the mid to high teens, which is not great, but it's not bad at all. And to be honest, when you play fantasy and you have a QB2, I personally love a consistent QB there that can just pop points on the board. For the falls, I had my man Dak, an absolute joke in performance, pulled out single figures for me, and then also had my other QB in Trevor. He's not what Fantasy Pro said in being QB 15 on PPR, and he looks like he might be more like a QB in the mid to high 20s. So he sucks.
stiff, but yeah, no, it's not looking great for him at the moment. Yeah, I don't know. That's why I just don't like going rookies. I know their value, but you never know what you're gonna get. Pilchos.
Yeah, Riser's going to have to go Lamar Jackson and then Sam Darnold as well, actually. Do I think he's a good QB? Absolutely not. But does he have McCaffrey and DJ Moore at his disposal? Yes. So that's just going to
Disgusting, Pilch. Take that back, mate.
translate to points. So
Take
he's
that
a
back,
riser.
mate.
Yeah, fair enough. Who are your falls, mate?
And my faller, I've got just Tua.
Yes.
He got injured, so it's a bit of a cop-out. But, like, I just don't really rate him at all. I think I said it last week as well. Just think he stinks.
Yeah,
So,
pretty harsh, but yeah, his O-line's shit. And yeah, it's not looking good for Tua at the moment as a fantasy prospect. Darnold's schedule upcoming is also pretty spicy, so he could be one to get your hands on in 2 QB leagues. Don't think he's relevant in 1 QB leagues, but play on.
Yeah.
Running backs? Oh, yet.
Yeah.
Bruh,
Mate.
has he even cracked 20 yet?
No, yeah, but only a matter of time.
So he's been
boys.
balling out against some real good teams, hasn't he?
Kurt, you know what he does, mate? You know he just passes
He's
at
on the
5
rise.
metres to McCaffrey or
on the
more, and
rise.
then they take it.
And that's all you need in fantasy.
And he still
boys.
scored 12.
Saints had
Scored
5
like
starters
19.
missing there. Anyways,
He's on the rise, boys. He's on the rise.
yeah, all right, we'll back you in there.
It's a miracle! Oh, yeah! What about that one? Unbelievable! Balotelli, Aguero! Crowd cheers. Here's Siddle.